Maybe there's something that I can learn about myself from a deeper, broader perspective so that when I go into my next relationship, I'm not going to repeat that pattern. What can I do differently? And that's where the truth really hurts, because if we really want to look at the truth from that broader perspective, then we have to see the truth from the perspective of other people whose version of the truth is in direct contrast to our own. And that's when the truth can really hurt. But if you're able to take that higher philosophical view and see the perspective from that other person, now you're seeing the truth from their perspective and from your perspective. Now the truth has truly set you free, because when you're seeing it from their perspective and your perspective, that's when you have that broader view and you're going to do things differently next time. You're not going to repeat the same pattern. Welcome to the Weekly Transit, your guide to understanding the current planetary and astral alignments. Together, we'll explore how to harness these cosmic frequencies, empowering you to reach your highest potential as you navigate the days ahead. I'm your host, Sextile. Welcome to the Weekly Transit, your weekly channel for learning the language of astrology for the purpose of understanding the planetary and astral alignments and how to work with these powerful frequencies to your benefit. I'm your host, Sextile. This is the week of November 18th to the 24th. The themes this week are freedom and independence, as we highlight the Sun's transit into Sagittarius and Pluto's transit into Aquarius. If you enjoy our content and want to support the podcast, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, liking our videos, and leaving a comment or question. You can also rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, or if you'd like to support the podcast monetarily, you can do so through Spotify or DonorBox. The links to do so are in the show notes. We truly appreciate your engagement. It helps us tailor our content to your interests and grow our community by reaching new listeners. Of course, if you are curious to learn about how any of the following transits are affecting you directly and how you can work with the cosmic energy to navigate your way successfully, you can contact me for a reading at theweeklytransit.com. 3 announcements for the week before we begin. Number 1, I am working on editing the interview that I did with Ingrid and her new co-host on her new podcast, Naked and Ambitious. So I am hoping to release that soon. So if you are looking forward to that, and I'm excited to share it with you, hit that bell that gives you the notification whenever I release a new episode, and you will be alerted. It'll probably be midweek sometime, hopefully on a Tuesday. I'm hoping this Tuesday. We'll see. It's always a process with editing with me, but I'm doing my best, and I'm really excited to get the interview with Ingrid out to you. Really enjoyed our conversation. A lot of fun, a lot of laughs, and astrological insights, of course. Also, my conversation with Delisa Hawking, 5th generation psychic, our debrief of the U.S. presidential election, where we get into transits into next year. That is available. The link is in the show notes. Really great conversation with Delisa. If you haven't listened to that, I encourage you to do so. Always have a great conversation, great interaction with her, lots of insight, and hopefully, peace and harmony and, peace of mind post-election. And then finally, I've mentioned her the last several weeks, even maybe a couple of months. That is Jen, the woman who is dowsing and doing the feng shui in our home and has shifted so much energy here, and it's been so positive. I feel bad because I've been shouting out her website, and I've been saying the wrong website. I keep saying indigomoon.com, and really the website is indigomoonhome.com. So if you've been going to indigomoon.com and you're like, wait, there's nothing here, this isn't working, that's my fault. I've been giving the wrong website. The correct address is indigomoonhome.com. So if you're looking to shift the frequency, to get that energetic flow in your home, I highly recommend that you reach out to Jen at indigomoonhome.com. Okay, so let's get into the week. It is a big week. We've got the two major transits, the Sun in Sagittarius and especially Pluto in Aquarius. That's a monumental one. We've got 8 other transits, including those two. So a lot to get into, and really excited to share the knowledge with you. I just want to thank everyone who's listening right now. Whether you're going on a walk and you're taking me with you, you're doing your gardening, however you're spending your time with me right now, just know that I am so grateful to be with you. It is an honor, a privilege, a pleasure to be here with you, sharing the knowledge, channeling through the knowledge of the language of astrology, helping you, supporting you, empowering you to work with these cosmic frequencies as you navigate your week. So thank you for bringing me along with you on your week. And we begin the week with the Sun, the giver of light, life, and vitality, the planet that represents our identity, is transiting through Scorpio, and it makes its final aspect in Scorpio with Neptune, the god of the sea, the oceans, the god of fresh water and the sea, the planet of illusion, deception, compassion, intuition, transiting through the mutable water signs symbolized by the fish and ruled by Neptune, Pisces. So this is a water-water connection where we have the Sun transiting through the fixed water sign of Scorpio, aligning with Neptune in the mutable water sign of Pisces. This is helping release the stagnation, releasing the stagnation of those stagnant Scorpio waters. It's like we've had the time to really go through the transformation, and maybe now this is like coming out of that cocoon. We entered the cocoon as the caterpillar, and now we're coming out of the cocoon as the butterfly. When I think of Scorpio and I think of water, I think of Scorpio as being like the lagoon in the middle of a deep, dark, dank forest or a swamp, and you're in that forest and you come across the lagoon or the swamp, and suddenly you're in the swamp and you're like, how did I get in here? I don't remember getting in here, but now I'm in the middle of the swamp and I can see the shore. It's very close. I want to get to the shore because I don't feel comfortable in the swamp, but I'm actually afraid to move because it feels like, even though I can't feel the bottom, it feels like there's something beneath me. It's the Loch Ness monster. It's some sort of monster in the deep. That's the intensity of Scorpio. But here comes the Pisces frequency, which is the ocean, and the ocean is creating that opening to the swamp that is helping push us out of the swamp. It's helping move us out of the swamp, and it's helping us do so with compassion and empathy. This is a trine, a very supportive aspect. This is occurring from Saturday, November 16th to Wednesday, November 20th, with the exact trine occurring on Monday, November 18th. So as we've gotten deep, we've been vulnerable with other people. We've facilitated these intimacies, these intimate exchanges with others, whether it's been through secret sex or the sharing of financial information or money. And through that, we've been transformed. And through that transformation, we feel more empathetic to those that we are connected to, more compassionate with the way that they are experiencing life. And hopefully, they are feeling empathetic and compassionate with you. So during this frequency, from Saturday to Wednesday, really think like, how can I be compassionate to the ones that I'm intimate with? How can I be empathetic to them? Am I really feeling what they're experiencing? Are they feeling what I'm experiencing? It's through the exchange of compassion that we can heal. Because when we feel somebody being compassionate with us, or when we are being compassionate to another, it's like, okay, I'm understood. The guilt that I'm feeling, the shame that I'm feeling, the regret that I'm feeling, I'm being accepted. I'm being loved. I'm being appreciated. And that's what this is about. This is really sort of greasing the wheels as we get to the Pluto in Aquarius transit, which we will get to in a moment. But before we do, let's delve into these next two transits, both of which involve Mercury, the messenger of the gods, guide of souls to the underworld, the planet of consciousness, communication, and coordination, the god of merchants and thieves, transiting through the mutable fire sign, symbolized by the archer, Sagittarius. Mercury forms an opposition to the planetary ruler of Sagittarius, Jupiter, the god of thunder, lord of justice, the planet of luck and expansion. Jupiter is transiting through the mutable air sign, symbolized by the twins and ruled by Mercury, Gemini. So this is an interesting alignment. It's an opposition between Mercury and Sagittarius, Jupiter and Gemini, two planets transiting through signs that are ruled by the planet that they're aligning with. And so this is creating tension between our sense of curiosity and wanting to share our truth. With Mercury transiting through Sagittarius, that is bringing conscious awareness to our philosophical view, to the big picture, while Jupiter transiting through Gemini is expanding our curiosity. So how can I be more curious while at the same time be more conscious of how I see the world? This is how this alignment works together. These two planets and these two signs working together, Mercury and Sagittarius, Jupiter and Gemini. Okay, I see the way that I see the world. I have a very clear philosophical view of life. Now, I can go ask other people their philosophical view. How do you see the world? What is your perspective? And from that perspective, I can compare or contrast that perspective with my own. This is allowing us to get deep, and in getting deep, uncovering the truth. Because Sagittarius is the sign that represents the truth, represents honesty. Jupiter is the planet of justice. Justice is served when the truth is revealed. And there's two sayings when we talk about the truth, and one is the truth hurts, the other is the truth will set you free. Both are true. Because when the truth is uncovered, it may hurt. It may be painful. But once you have processed the truth, it broadens your philosophical perspective, and it's from that place that the truth sets you free. I think of it in terms of a zit. Like, I'm looking at my forehead and I think I've got like a pimple that is just, I popped it and it's healing. But what happened? It was released. And when it was released, it hurt, but now it is free. The toxins have been released. And when you are hiding from the truth, something is festering beneath the surface. It's like the toxins beneath your skin. When you look at this Louise Hay book, Heal Your Body, and you think about what it says here in terms of pimples, small outbursts of anger. Small outbursts of anger. And what causes anger? Anger is caused when the truth is hidden. So what are you hiding from? Or what is being hidden from you? By exposing the truth, it may be painful, but it will open new outlets up that are going to help you see things from a different perspective, which will help you feel more free. The truth creates an opening for exploration, adventure, new ideas, new ways of thinking. And that brings us to our next transit. Because the truth may hurt, the truth sets you free, and it's through the truth setting you free that you heal. Like, I think about an example here is, if you've ever been in a relationship, when you think about this Scorpio frequency, and it's interesting because Mercury's transit through Sagittarius opposing Jupiter in Gemini is occurring around the same time as the Sun's transit through Scorpio, Trine, Neptune, retrograde in Pisces. This is from November 16th to the 19th, Saturday to Tuesday, with the exact opposition of Mercury in Sagittarius opposing Jupiter in Gemini on Monday, November 18th, the same day that the Sun in Scorpio trines Neptune in Pisces. So you get intimate with somebody. And through that intimacy, there's a betrayal. Something happens. You feel manipulated. You feel betrayed, lied to. Maybe they cheated on you. You're in a romantic relationship and you find out that somebody's been cheating behind your back. Oh, that hurts. You find that out, and that's the truth, and that's where the truth hurts. But then once you're able to process the truth, you see things from a different perspective. You take a deeper philosophical view. Well, what was going on in that relationship? The truth was hidden. Something was festering. Anger. It's anger on both sides. I don't think anybody cheats with another person out of love. They're angry. They're upset. They want to get out of the relationship and they're looking for a way out, and so they cheat. But finding that out helps get to the root of what was going on in the relationship. It helps you see the truth within yourself and the truth within your partner, your former partner. And once you have that truth and you get through the sting, the pain, the hurt, it helps you heal. Because now you're free from the suffering that you were experiencing, most likely even before you found out that the cheating was occurring. And that's where we come to this third transit, which is Mercury in Sagittarius forming a supportive trine with Chiron, the wound, and the ancient wisdom which is unlocked through healing that wound. transiting through the cardinal fire sign symbolized by the ram, Aries. This is occurring the same time as the previous two transits. The Sun in Scorpio, Trine, Neptune retrograde in Pisces, Mercury in Sagittarius opposing Jupiter retrograde in Gemini, Mercury in Sagittarius trine Chiron retrograde in Aries is occurring from November 16th to the 20th, Saturday to Wednesday, with the exact trine occurring on Tuesday, November 19th. So this is kind of trailing the two previous transits. The first transit, we're getting deep, we're being compassionate and empathetic with those that we're intimate with. The second transit, the truth is coming out. Maybe it hurts, but then it's setting us free. And through that freedom, the healing facilitates. The healing is facilitated. Chiron in Aries is bringing up the fears. Your fears and insecurities. What are you afraid of? What are you insecure about? Mercury in Sagittarius is bringing truth to those fears and insecurities. It's like you can't hide from it anymore. And with Mercury opposing Jupiter in Gemini, some of that truth may come out by asking questions. Maybe you have the courage to ask questions that you've been afraid to ask. And it's through asking those questions that the truth is revealed in a way that is painful. But it also sets you free. It also helps you heal that wound because now the truth is out. We can see the wound. We can see that it's been festering beneath the surface. And now we pop the boil and bring it to the surface and releasing the toxins. And this is all coming up right now because Pluto's about to transit into Aquarius. That happens on Tuesday, November 19th, the same day that Mercury in Sagittarius forms an exact trine with Chiron retrograde in Aries, and we're facing our fears and insecurities. We're being honest with ourselves. We're being honest with the people that we're in relationship with. Pluto transits into Aquarius. Pluto is the planetary ruler of Scorpio. We talked about the sun in Scorpio in the first transit. Pluto is Lord of the underworld. Mercury is guide of souls to the underworld. If you look at these two symbols, Pluto and Mercury, they're both made up of the same three root symbols. The circle of spirit, symbolizing your eternal soul, no beginning, no end. The cross of matter, signifying the four elements of matter, fire, earth, air, water. Both of these are a circle of spirit on top of the cross of matter. And each of them have a crescent of receptivity in a different place. Mercury has the crescent of receptivity on top of the circle of spirit. It looks like a stick figure with antennas, signifying your eternal soul in the world of matter and how it thinks, how it receives information, processes that information, and communicates that information to others. Mercury is the messenger of the gods. So it's processing the truth. As it transits through Sagittarius, Mercury is processing the truth. So what is the truth that is being revealed to you? While Pluto, the crescent of receptivity, is in between the circle of spirit and the cross of matter, signifying the transformation that occurs to the eternal soul in the world of matter. Pluto is the god of death, lord of the underworld, the planet of transformation, and it's beginning its transit through Aquarius, the fixed air sign symbolized by the water bearer, and ruled by Uranus and Saturn. Uranus is the symbol for Venus flipped upside down. Venus is a circle of spirit on top of a cross of matter. So it's like Pluto and Mercury without the crescent of receptivity. It's that symbol that if you're in a foreign country and you see that symbol on the bathroom door, that's going to indicate to you women. It's the feminine planet. It's the goddess of love. The planet that represents the 5 physical senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. Venus flipped upside down with a crescent of receptivity on either side of the cross of matter is Uranus. And Uranus is the planetary ruler of Aquarius, as is Saturn. But in thinking about Uranus, Uranus is what makes your love different. And so Uranus and Aquarius are the signs, the sign and planet that represent homosexuality. Because homosexuality is a form of love that is not the conformed, it's non-conformist. It's different than the norm. And what's the phrase that is associated with homosexuality? Coming out of the closet. And so with Pluto transiting through Aquarius, we are collectively coming out of the closet. We are collectively coming out of the closet. And the sun in Scorpio, Trine, Neptune in Pisces is helping facilitate compassion and empathy for what that means to come out of the closet. Mercury in Sagittarius opposing Jupiter in Gemini is creating curiosity for what that means in terms of coming out of the closet, processing the truth. And then Mercury in Sagittarius aligning with Chiron in Aries is having the courage to take an honest look at the truth, at our insecurities, at our fears. And through that, we can come out of the closet together and be open in the community. This is what Pluto in Aquarius is about. The highest frequency, and there's a high frequency and a low frequency to every planet, every sign. The high frequency of Aquarius is understanding that we're all different. We're all unique. But we all share this common connection to each other. That we're all here on planet Earth together. We're all stuck here on planet Earth. And so in knowing that, it's recognizing that each and every individual that we come into contact with, whether it's a good experience, a bad experience, or an ugly experience, is ultimately a gift because it's helping us see something about ourselves that we can only see through the person that we're connecting to. So, the high frequency of Pluto in Aquarius is transforming our relationship to the community, the group, the club, the organization, the social network, the social cause. And in transforming our relationship to the community, to the village, this is helping us understand that everyone is on their own path, their own journey, and that we need to accept others on their journey, on their path. Because what do we want from them? We want them to accept us on our journey, on our path. Aquarius is symbolized by the water bearer. The water bearer is that individual that invented the jug. They didn't do it for themselves. Though they did do it for themselves, they also did it for the village. So that everyone in the village didn't have to go down to the stream each and every day to drink water and bathe like an animal. They freed up their time, created independence in their time. This is where we think about Saturn as the planetary ruler of Aquarius. Pluto has just completed its transit through Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn, and it transits into Aquarius, which is ruled by Saturn. What's the difference between the two? Saturn ruling Capricorn is the responsibility that I have to myself and my own goals and ambitions, Saturn ruling Aquarius is my responsibility to the community. But I'm not really sure what my responsibility to the community is until I'm clear about what my responsibility to myself is. And my responsibility that I have to myself is to be the unique individual that I am. And in being the unique individual that I am, I'm bringing something unique to the community. And that is my responsibility to the community. That I am unlike anyone else. Of course, we have similarities, but nobody is exactly like me. And so I am bringing something to the conversation, to the community that is unique to me. And I want everyone in the community, whether they like me, don't like me, agree with me, or don't agree with me, to at the very least respect me. And it's through that respect they are appreciating my point of view. And in return, it is my intention to respect them and appreciate their point of view. When we're at that frequency, we are going to elevate society. We are going to elevate the collective. The low frequency of Aquarius is, oh, that person is red. That person is blue. That person voted for Kamala. That person voted for Trump. I don't like them. No. No. That's the low frequency of Aquarius. That if you don't look like me, you don't think like me, you don't talk like me, you don't act like me, then there's something wrong with you. That's how wars start. Let's just look back. Let's think back. Pluto transited through Aquarius from April 4th to May 27th, 1777. Then January 26th to August 20th, 1778. December 1st, 1778 to April 11th, 1797. July 20th, 1797 to February 17th, 1798. September 28th to December 26th, 1798. What was going on during that period? People were losing their heads in the town square in France. The American Revolution occurred. Now, it's not to look back and say that those people are wrong, they did things wrong, or judge them in any way. But I'll say right here that I don't want to see that happening now. I like to think that we've evolved from that point and that we can recognize the differences in each other and use that friction to create a new reality. A new reality through self-acceptance and acceptance of the other, where we don't have to go to war with each other, because if we're going to war with each other, then we're already at war with ourselves. And the war with the self is a lack of self-acceptance. You're not accepting yourself. You're not appreciating yourself. You're not loving yourself. And so you go out into the world and you see other people not accepting you, not appreciating you, not loving you. And you presume that it's their fault. Pluto in Aquarius is about loving your inner freak, loving your inner weirdness. You're weird? Great. Great. You know how many times people have told me that I'm weird? You know how many times people have told me? I had a friend in college say, when they made you, they broke the mold. And he said years later that he meant it as a compliment, but at the time, it didn't really feel that way. But You are uniquely you. The next time the planets and stars will be aligned in the way that they were aligned when you were born is over 25,000 years from the date, time, and place of your birth. So you're not supposed to be anyone other than you. You are a divine addition to this cosmic kaleidoscope that is planet Earth. So come out of the closet. Be who you are. And in doing so, you are inspiring and encouraging other people to come out of the closet and be who they are. Now let's be real. Some people are going to show you who they are and you're not going to like them. And they're not going to like you. But that doesn't mean that you have to disrespect them, or that they have to disrespect you. Saturn is the god of wealth and time, the planetary ruler of Aquarius. And so this is saying, who do you want to spend your time with within the community? I had one of my clients, students, friends, brilliant astrologer, Ricky King, Soul Path Astrology. Go check her out on Instagram or her website. She reached out to me and was talking about the election, and I'm going to have her on the show. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but I'm excited to introduce you to her if you don't know her already. But, she brought something up, just a brilliant perspective, where she was like, one thing that I learned about this election was that I may agree with you politically, but we don't share the same values because of the way some people in her political circle were speaking about people that weren't in her political circle. It's like you have to be able to see things from the other perspective. You don't have to agree with the other side. But when you call people on the other side stupid, dumb, idiots, you're really disparaging yourself. Because we're reflecting each other. We're all reflecting each other. And I can't implore you enough during this Pluto in Aquarius season, which is going to last for 20 years. I'm going to give you the dates right now. To learn how to accept yourself, appreciate yourself, love yourself, express your independence, and in doing so, inspiring others to express their independent nature, what makes them unique. Really see the specialness in every individual. So Pluto's transiting through Aquarius. First of all, it already was transiting through Aquarius from March 23rd to June 11th, 2023, January 20th to September 1st of this year, 2024. But now begins the long haul from November 19th, Tuesday, 2024, until March 8th, 2043. And then again, August 31st, 2043 to January 19th, 2044. What are we going to see over the next 20 years? Well, my bold prediction, something that hit me so clearly when I was at my kitchen table in 2016, having my astrological epiphany. And I was looking at the transits moving forward and I was like, oh my God. Pluto's transiting into Aquarius, where it's going to be for 20 years beginning in 2024, in 8 years. Aquarius is the sign that rules astrology. Pluto's the planet of transformation. I'm like, wow. I already love this astrology thing. I was thinking about taking this seriously and make it my full-time gig and just learning everything that I need to learn about astrology. But now I'm seeing like this is going to be amazing, because by the time we get to 2043, astrology is going to be mainstream. It's going to be a part of the mainstream. It's going to be a part of, like the weather. Corporations are going to have in-house astrologers. Sports teams are going to be looking at the planets and stars for when to sign this player, or do they sign this player, or should I hire this person in my company? It's going to be mainstream. And a big reason why it's going to be mainstream just from a realistic perspective is because of technology. Aquarius is the sign that rules technology. Because what did the water bear do? The water bear created a new technology, the jug, the aqueducts, the irrigation. These are all new technologies that brought water from the stream to the village. So new technologies are going to come about that are going to help make it easier to digest the information of this ancient language, as it already has. Because when you think about the fact that you can go and you can download an app, it takes a few seconds, or you can go to a website, and then you can put your date, time, and place of birth into this app or on this website, and what happens? Instantly a chart is drawn up. If you do that manually, it'll take you about an hour to figure that out. Maybe less, like once you're good at it and you understand what you're doing. But it can take you, at least 30 minutes to figure out, to get all the coordinates. And then it takes you another 30 minutes to draw it all up, or an hour after that. It is a process. So what has happened? Now we're saving time. We're saving time. We don't have to do the manual calculations. We don't have to draw it up by hand. It's done in a matter of seconds. And it's creating more time. And it's helping broaden our perspective of, what can we really learn about this ancient language? So that's my bold prediction with Pluto and Aquarius, that in 20 years, astrology is going to be mainstream. And I can just see it from all the people that have come to me that want to be astrologers. And I encourage you, if you want to be an astrologer, to be an astrologer, whether that means you want to be like me, and you want to counsel people, you want to be a guide to people, or you want to do something else with astrology. Astrology is a language. You can take it anywhere. You can do anything with astrology. But I encourage you, that's why you're here, I imagine, to learn some of this ancient language. And that's why I'm here, is to help teach you, to help you become conversational, if not fluent, in this ancient language. And I bring up people like Ricky, even though she's also an astrologer. It's like she's told me my friends are like, wow, I can't believe this, your astrology mentor is posting about you on Instagram. It's like, yeah, well, why wouldn't I? Your competition? That's like Paul McCartney thinking Mick Jagger is competition. It's just different music. Some people are going to like to listen to me and what I have to share about the language of astrology, and some people aren't. Some people are going to like listening to this person or that person. Everybody to each their own. This is not, I'm going to corner the market on astrology here. No, I want to actually open the market up, so that everyone is speaking this ancient language and we're really understanding each other from this broader perspective. Deeper acceptance, appreciation, and love for one another. That's my vision for Pluto and Aquarius. And so I share that with you. And now let's move on to the next transit, which is the Sun, the giver of light, life, and vitality, transiting into the mutable fire sign that we talked about earlier with Mercury's transit through Sagittarius. The Sun transits through Sagittarius from November 21st to December 21st. Every year the Sun transits through Sagittarius. Usually it's November 22nd to the 21st, but because it's a leap year, we're off. But it all depends on where you are and what time it is of where you are on the planet. But every year, right around November 21st, 22nd to December 21st is when the Sun is transiting through Sagittarius, bringing that light, life, and vitality to the sign of honesty, truth, philosophy, religion, theology, seeing the bigger picture. Cultivating faith, opening up that channel to a higher power that is connected to you, supporting you on your journey through life. This is bringing light, life, and vitality to faith. And as the Sun transits into Sagittarius, well, what planet does it align with? Pluto in Aquarius. These two planets are in strong alignment from November 21st, Thursday, to Saturday, November 23rd, with the exact sextile occurring on Thursday, November 21st. This is supporting us in being honest, open, free thinking. Free thinking. It's like, wow, this person sees the world differently than me. What can I learn from them? The low frequency of Sagittarius is, well, I have all the answers. I'm the smartest person in the room. Everybody listen to me. That's the low frequency of Sagittarius. The high frequency of Sagittarius is the sage that sits there and listens, takes it in, and then when called upon, shares their wisdom with the group. We don't need to kick down any doors. We don't need to stand on a pedestal and say, listen to me, I've got all the answers. What we need to do is to be open to the conversation, to be open to the truth. And sometimes the truth means you sharing, and sometimes the truth means you listening. But the truth always represents seeing things from the broader perspective, because we all have our version of the truth. And sometimes they merge and we see things the same way, and sometimes they're vastly different. It doesn't necessarily mean that one is wrong and the other is right. All it means is that we're seeing the truth from a different perspective. This is why there's 12 people on a jury and not just one. Because if we can get 12 people that are seeing things the same way, then, hopefully that means that that is the truth in totality. But even then, it still might not be. What this is urging us to do is to take that broader philosophical view. That if my truth is different from someone else's truth, what would happen if I saw things from their perspective? What can I learn from them? Say your spouse or your lover cheated on you. From my perspective, as the one who is cheated on, they're obviously in the wrong. But from their perspective, maybe there's something that I did that helped facilitate them wanting to cheat. It's not to excuse their actions, but it's also not to just put me as the victim, that they did this to me. No, let's look at the bigger picture. What is their perspective? What was their reasoning behind acting in the way that they did? Maybe there's something that I can learn about myself from a deeper, broader perspective so that when I go into my next relationship, I'm not going to repeat that pattern. What can I do differently? And that's where the truth really hurts, because if we really want to look at the truth from that broader perspective, then we have to see the truth from the perspective of other people whose version of the truth is in direct contrast to our own. And that's when the truth can really hurt. But if you're able to take that higher philosophical view and see the perspective from that other person, now you're seeing the truth from their perspective and from your perspective. Now the truth has truly set you free, because when you're seeing it from their perspective and your perspective, that's when you have that broader view and you're going to do things differently next time. You're not going to repeat the same pattern. And that leads us to our next transit. Venus, the goddess of love and beauty, the planet of relationships, transiting through the cardinal earth sign symbolized by the goat, Capricorn, forming a supportive sextile with the planetary ruler of Capricorn, Saturn, in the mutable water sign where Venus is exalted, Pisces. This is similar to that transit we were talking about earlier with Mercury in Sagittarius opposing Jupiter in Gemini, where you have these two planets transiting through different signs, aligning with the planetary ruler of the sign that they're in. Well, Venus isn't the planetary ruler of Pisces, but Venus is exalted in Pisces. It's in a position of power. And Saturn, of course, rules Capricorn, where Venus is transiting through. This is occurring from Wednesday, November 20th to Saturday, November 23rd, with an exact sextile occurring on Friday, November 22nd. Friday, Frigg. Frigg is the Old Norse god, that is the equivalent to the Roman goddess Venus. So Friday is Venice, the day of Venus. And it's on this Friday, November 22nd, that we're being called to take an empathetic look at our partners. Whether it's a lover, a friend, or a business partner, take an empathetic look at your partner. Can you have empathy for your partner? Can you have compassion for your partner? And in doing so, can you take responsibility for your part? Because it's not easy to look at a relationship where you have been cheated on and say that, you know what, I need to take responsibility for my part. I'm going to have empathy for my partner who cheated on me. What? Huh? How do you do that? Well, it's by doing the work. And that's Saturn in Pisces, is doing the work to go deep within your psyche. To face the guilt, the shame, the regret, the blame that you experience within yourself that creates the circumstances within your reality that are now causing you pain and suffering. It's about holding yourself accountable as a partner. And in doing so, reflecting or receiving that reflection from your partner. How can my partner be more empathetic to me? How can my partner be more compassionate with me? How can I hold my partner accountable to be empathetic and compassionate with me? Like, listen, I'm going to look at things from my perspective here, but I'm going to turn it around and try to see things from your perspective, because I want to show you compassion. I want to show you empathy. And when I receive your perspective and show you compassion and empathy, I'm going to hold myself accountable for being a better partner through hearing what you're sharing with me. But I would also like that reciprocated from you. There's some real magic that's happening here at the end of the week. This is a supportive aspect, a really supportive aspect. You know, we started the week with compassion and empathy, but then the truth came out and it hurt. But now we're taking that philosophical view and we feel more free. And now that we're more open with each other, we have that compassion and that empathy and that appreciation for one another. And that leads us to the final transit of the week, which is another supportive transit. Mars, the god of war, the planet of action, aggression, and conflict, courage, authenticity, transiting through the fixed fire signs symbolized by the lion Leo, aligning in a positive trine, a supportive aspect to the North Node, the soul's purpose or karmic pathway of the soul, transiting through the cardinal fire sign symbolized by the ram and ruled by Mars, Aries. So this is the third transit of the week where we've had planets that aren't in the signs that they rule aligning with other planets or key points that are in the signs that they rule. And this is just so beautiful because it's really stimulating the energy from a different frequency. Here you have Mars stimulating the energy of courage and confidence from the frequency of sovereignty. From the center of my heart, that I have the courage to be joyful, to laugh, to be playful, because it's authentic to me. This is what I love. This is what I enjoy. You know, somebody texted me today. It's actually my birthday. And as I'm recording this, and they said, I hope you do something fun today. Something that makes you happy. And I was like, you know what? I am. I'm meeting with a client. I'm teaching a class. And I'm recording. And I'm recording my podcast. Those are three things that I love doing more than anything, and that I enjoy, that make me happy. And so what makes you happy? What brings you joy? What is authentic to you? This transit of Mars in Leo forming a trine with the North Node in retrograde is happening for 2 weeks, from Saturday, November 16th, to Friday, November 29th, with the exact trine occurring this Friday, November 22nd. So we are really being encouraged over these last 2 weeks of November to boldly be ourselves. And again, this is helping facilitate the introduction to Pluto in Aquarius, which is embracing your individuality, expressing your individuality. In order to express your individuality, you have to have the courage to act from your heart center in a way that's authentic to you, that is joyful to you. Thank you. Thank you for helping me experience my joy by listening to this podcast, by wanting to work with me, by all the love and appreciation that I receive from you throughout the week, whether it's through comments or Instagram posts or whether you're connecting with me as a client or in a class. You help me experience joy in my life. And I hope that what we've shared here on this podcast this week helps you have the courage to experience joy in your life, to be yourself in the most profound, bold way, in a way that celebrates who you are and inspires others to celebrate themselves. and to open yourself up to the truth, to the pain that the truth brings, but also the freedom and healing that the truth brings as well. And I'll leave you with that until next week. Thank you for listening to the weekly transit. If you're curious to learn how these transits or any other transits may be affecting you, or if you're interested in learning more about your astrological code, contact me for a reading at theweeklytransit.com. If you're interested in delving into the world of psychotherapy with Gabriella, you can schedule a consultation with her at GabriellaDurso.com. That's GabriellaDurso.com. Support for the podcast can be done through a monthly contribution on Spotify, rating us 5 stars, subscribing to our channel on YouTube, or writing a favorable review on Apple Podcasts. We are grateful for your support. This episode was produced by me, Scott Tajarian. Music written by Ben Leinbach from Listen Deep by Amber Herzog-Lyman. Wishing you all the best as you ride the planetary waves.